Hi, this is Maginoni, and welcome to another edition of The Good, the Bad, and the Disappointing. I have to admit, the good was really hard this week. It's not that there weren't good books, there was just a lack of books that really, at least at the start, just made me go, oh wow, that's just fantastic. Also, to be fair, I couldn't finish everything, so there might have been a good book that I just never got to. So let's just do this one right here. The Last Padawan, based off of the his secret history from Kanan from the Rebels. Now, this book is not what I would call a home run, the parting of the seas type title. But that being said, I just thought that it was enjoyable. It was fun. It was like really low maintenance to read, and the art was. I really did like the art. It was, and it had some decent fighting. Now, was this again all inspiring? Nah, but it was still. It did what it had to do and set up the story. Now, the one thing that I really found like what, and keep in mind that just the what is because if you look at the stormtrooper guys, they they're black, and it's not that I don't care what race they are, but if you remember when they released the Star Wars tease, you had the black stormtrooper, and then that caused like a huge controversy. I always thought of it as just like maybe just another character that just so happens to have stormtrooper armor, kind of like what Luke Skywalker did, or if they changed race or they had different people in the suits, it's no big deal because it doesn't really impact the story. That being said, it's kind of like not that it's shocking, but it's I guess you can say it's shocking in the sense that this is here before the movie comes out. So in a way, it's kind of giving you a direction that maybe the next Star Wars movie is going to be about or a part of it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But overall, it was like I said, it's a decent read. It was entertaining. Art was good. I don't know how many issues I'm going to buy ultimately, but it was fun, and that to me was important. All right, the bad. World's End 26. Now, first up, this cover is freaking awesome. That being said, this destruction of the world is just it was just so painful to read. Now, let's talk about one thing first, and that is consistency. Now, this is last week's chapter here. Now, notice here, I brought this up before. You have a Superman with the S ripped off of his chest. Then, miraculously, his uniform regenerates, and you now have this open part now covered. I swear to God, these people. Now, when you go to the final episode or issue, you have Superman with his S back. It's like, do you not ever pay attention to the books that you're drawing or you're illustrating? Do you not care that there's any form of consistency? It's like, or are you just too freaking lazy to, pay attention to detail? And it's these little things. Now, granted, I'm sure most people probably wouldn't have noticed it, but it's like I did, and I'm sure there's other people who did. It's just like the Liefeld problem, where you have claws in and claws out. You have guns disappearing. All poses crazy, and it's a pet peeve of mine when you can't even pay attention to the little things. Now, this book is just basically Darkseid just walking over everybody. And everybody just keeps making recovery tests to try to come back, and then Darkseid stomps on them again, and it's just really painful to read. They keep offering you a hope that everything's gonna be okay. Green Lantern's got to transform into this new form, and this way he can absorb the soul of the Earth, but he's not gonna be who he once was, and he's not gonna remember his boyfriend, and it's such a sad, tragic moment. And I'm just like, who cares? The guy died in issue 1. Get over it, And it's just like it had. While they did invest some time on it, and I guess on some level there was some sentimental value to it. On the long haul, it's like, who cares? That's something that would have meant a little bit more earlier, and it would have meant a little bit more if you built up the relationship again between the two characters when his boyfriend came back as the Error Avatar, and so it lessened everything. It's just laughable. I'm sorry. It's just laughable that this is just the biggest piece of shit I've read in a long time. Now, here's the other really wonky thing. Now, if you remember Future's End, you had the big battle, the dimensional battle. Heroes were, tragic event happened. And there's a prison that has all of the Earth 2 heroes. And this issue here, they're trying to escape. They're going to this, the multiversity. But they don't go to Future's End. Because this and Future's End basically lead right into Convergence. And, I guess you could say maybe I'm just, I don't know, paying too much attention to the little thing. Or else maybe I'm not giving... See, because it's like, I guess, all right, maybe there's more to the story, because they say, all right, find out what happens to the heroes in Convergence #1, and maybe Convergence #1, they fight it out. But see, even then that doesn't make sense, because Convergence takes place after Future's End, and I don't know. I don't know anymore. All right, let's go with the disappointing. I demand my $5 back. This was the biggest piece of turd for the week. This is not a way to generate excitement, to generate any type of hype. This is just basically, this is the way I like to look at this one. There's a lot of talking in this issue between Superman and Brainiac. A lot of talking. So imagine, you're in a meeting and there's somebody who just likes to just talk. Just wants to hear themselves talk. Or, there's that, you have a friend who just tells you this wild, outlandish stories because he just likes to hear the sound of his voice. This is DC just basically going, I really like the sound of my voice, and I'm just going to talk, and then charge you $5 for it. Because this is bullshit. Did not need to be done. This could have been actually handled in the Superman issue where this takes place, because this takes place during Doomed. It could have been handled then. This could have been handled as a free comic book day book. This could have been handled as a 8-page insert, that they give out free. Because it certainly did not need to be a full comic book with Superman seeing all the different Brainiacs and learning that there's the bottles and he doesn't remember anything. And then there's the main villain at the end who says, I gotta fix my master's mistakes, and battle royale between the different worlds to see who's the strongest to survive. And I'm like going, you fucking stole Apocalypse's words, you jackasses. This is like ridiculous. Everybody's stealing from each other, at least what they appears to be. At least be a little bit more subtle about it. Oh man, I'm just telling you, if this is the beginning, if this is the way Convergence is going, this is setting this up to be the biggest piece of shit that you will see in a long time. And you know what? This is also DC's way of saying we fucked up. So we need to fix things because you people aren't buying our shit any longer. Bullshit. That's what it is. Sorry for the language. Anyways, that's it for today. I'll have some more reviews later. Like, share. Also, I did the comic book podcast with Cons, Freaks, and Geeks. The link will be down below, and we talk about Convergence and Secret Wars. If you have any other comments or questions, let me know. Let me know what your good, your bad, disappointing was for the week, and I'll have more stuff later. So until next time.